Worship, by definition, is the act of showing reverence or adoration to and of God. But what does worship mean for you and for me? What is worship, and why do we worship? We see worship mostly in church. We worship in our youth groups on Wednesdays and Saturday nights, and most importantly, on Sunday mornings in our services and Sunday schools. But what is the true meaning of worship? And why is worship so important? And why is worship important when it comes to our relationship with God?
The meaning of worship, I think worship does not only pertain to like singing and music, right? It can also include just like dedicating time to God, praying and reading His Word. They're all acts of worship and lifting up your praise to Him. But for music worship, like ministry in specific, I think it functions as one of the main ways to lead you closer into God's presence. Because usually it frames the sermon, right? You sing a couple of songs beforehand, and during that time, you're using like a couple of songs dedicated solely to God. So at that point, you're telling Him that all your attention is on Him, and all these words and the melodies that you're bringing up to Him, they're all focused on Him and what He has done for you and your response to Him. And because worship is music, I think because music is like not only memorable, but it's also a way to express the inexpressible without like words explicitly. It's a great way to lift up praise, even if you don't exactly, if you're not sure about what you're praising Him for yet, or you're still like trying to discern where He wants you to go.
Worship's important because it's our way to glorify and praise our Father and our Creator, and what He's done for us and what He's given to us, and it's really just us praising Him and us doing it for Him. I think that a misconception of worship is that it's for us and we're the audience, but really God is the audience for it, and He deserves all our praise and everything.
I think it's very important because when we worship God, we are praising His name, and all the lyrics have a very significant meaning behind it. And then sometimes when you sing or worship to God, you feel very connected with Him and sometimes feel His presence or Holy Spirit. So I think it's a very important factor when it comes to getting closer in your relationship with God.
Worship because I think it is how you kind of prepare your heart and start getting ready to worship God or spend time with God before either a sermon or either a message or anything. And I think worship is so important because the type of worship that you do or you choose to do for yourself really determines the mood that you're going to be in when enter the presence of God.
We were created by God to worship. Worship allows us to draw near to God, remembering how good and powerful and loving He is. But when you worship, you also take on an inward appearance. But through lifting His name, we experience the mercy, grace, and forgiveness of God. And finally, worship also allows us to take on an outward appearance, seeing God for who He truly is, and having a desire to be obedient to whatever He has called you to. So forget about the lights, forget about the fancy technology, or how you sound. Just worship Him, the one who made you and is worthy of your praise. Lift up His name.